Hello once again, my friends, and welcome back to MDG Media. We are continuing this round 3 coverage of the 2025 European Disc Golf Festival. This is MPO Chase Card back 9. We have the new pin placements, we have some scorching scores, we have the precipitous cut coming just soon after this round 3. Players fighting to play the 4th and final round of this major tournament. I'm Connor Wood, and with me, Mr. Elias Luukkonen.
What's up, Connor? What's up, viewers? Nice to be here. And yeah, cut line. For 3 of our players, absolutely no worries. For Alden Harris, actually a little bit of a worry, but I trust that he will make it, as he's still well above the pace, at least by a couple of strokes. But as you can see, our card is just shooting very hot, 6.55 under on the front and just barely keeping pace. So the level of play is high. And these guys know they have to make a slightly bigger push on the back still if they want to get that lead card spot for tomorrow, which that's going to be very important. You need to be seeing what the other players are doing in order to win this tournament. At least that improves your chances in a huge way. As starting on hole number 10, scoreable par 4, 195 meters. The difficulty here is going to be a low ceiling, a relatively late low ceiling in the flight, so you have to fly about 100 meters to get past the low ceiling. Ideally, it's going to be a straight to slightly fading distance driver. Take a skip. You're going to have an easier approach from the perfect drive, only about 70 meters left if you throw it clean through the gap. And usually, even if you hit the low ceiling or the left or the right side of the gap of the tee, you're usually going to have some sort of shot to the green.
We have Niklas kicking off our back 9. A very nice shot, more than enough to be in position for the birdie. Not the furthest shot in potential distance, but very well positioned. As I said, enough. Lauri playing with danger over on the left side, but does land safely. Has enough width to avoid any of the dangers found on the left. Ricky as well. Very surprising to see both of those guys go so far left, but they're in play. That is the priority here, given how generous both the landing zone and next stretch are.
Everybody doing the same. Wow. Yeah, what's going on? I mean, that just shows how forgiving this hole is, that all of those shots, while not being great, they're still in position. And Ricky not even going for the most difficult sidearm, just a standard shot for him. Same thing for Alden, hitting the gap just beautifully.
Super overstable disc again. Steep Anheuser release, low to the ground, comes back with force. Huge skip as well, even to the right. Most often you'll see players throw a Anheuser forehand to prevent a huge skip, or any sort of flex shot to prevent a huge skip compared to the pure Heiser. The stability of that disc drags him out. Lauri, pretty hot on that approach, will leave him 11 meters.
Niklas mentioned on the front 9 about the forehand of Niklas. Slightly underrated, and he's just so accurate with that shot. I'd say one of the more accurate forehand players. While doesn't throw that far with the forehand, I would pick Niklas over almost anybody from Europe from that 90-meter distance.
But some inaccuracy on the putting green, both Alden and Lauri air balls. Both of them, you can see, even putting for par before Rick and Niklas are putting for their birdies.
There you go. Good way to start off the back. Keep that pace. Niklas actually only having missed 3 of the perfect pace. It's definitely a course where if you're playing good, you can be counting pars instead of counting your score, as the best players in the world are expecting to shoot at least 9 under on this course. The average for a winning tournament score definitely going to be pushing double digits.
And we proceed to hole 11, 235-meter par 4. You have this initial tunnel, OB and trees lining the left and right side. Players will need to beat this building to the left that marks the beginning of the bend to the right of the fairway. They then have a series of trees to navigate through as well. The tunnel then opens up into this beautiful large field, And we have the new pin placement today. It is a longer hole. The green is much more well guarded. You need to throw a much better tee shot in order to be able to access the green in 2 shots. And I think that this is a great change here. The best players in the field are here, and we make the hole a little bit harder. I'm a fan. We have Niklas setting the pace here on the chase card. 29 under right now. Could secure himself a 30 under total score. That shot, however, is likely too short to get to the green in 2.
Yeah, really tricky spot from there. I would even consider that the only option to get to the green from there with is going to be a roller, a very aggressive shot. And Ricky, look at this drive. This is just massive. That's in round 2, we were being amazed with drives that landed there, but there were 3 like that on the card. Go watch that round 2 chase card if you want to see incredible drives on this hole. And Lauri as well, really good angle out of the hand.
And that's solid progress around the corner. Both Lauri and Rick will have a chance to access the green. We go to Alden, shaping the backhand. This is a much harder shot to pull off. You need a super late flip. You need tons of rightwards movement. He opts for more of just a pure straight shot that ends out to the left. That will open up his angle, but also increases the distance into the green. I would say he's still probably around 130 meters or so from his position. And you mentioned the roller, Elias. Niklas looking to craft something, but unable to get through clean into that airspace.
Alden and has a shot. This needs to keep moving right. Pretty good angle, actually. Yeah, he's gonna be 15 meters away. Really not bad on the second most difficult hole on the course. Finally, this hole playing above par on average, so that basket change actually making it much more difficult compared to rounds 1 and 2.
Lauri going to be disappointed there. We go to Niklas's 3rd shot here before Rick has even thrown his 2nd. And he was displeased with that, but it puts him in a pretty solid position. Has a putt that he is making more often than missing. Ricky shaping the 2nd forehand now. Right up there. You cannot play this hole better than what we just saw from Ricky Wysocki. Great skill set on display. The power forehand, the accuracy.
Yep, beautiful stuff. Definitely a forehand thrower's hole. Not a lot of those on this course. It definitely feel like it favors the backhand hyzer finish. As Niklas, huge miss above the basket. That's gonna be a long comebacker.
Similar to what he just had. Now I believe with a soft tailwind, however. From this position we have the wind coming off the Baltic Sea, which is left of frame from this camera angle. Not a particularly exposed green, but worth noting. We see Rick secure the birdie, forging ahead, getting 1 stroke here on Niklas. 2 rather, with that missed putt in the initial early tee shot. The gap begins to close now at the top of the field.
As the players walk over the bridge, over to the hole number 12, 215 meters. Biggest danger of the tee is going to be that OB right, so a lot of players end up going pretty safe, just a hyzer shot over the OB. You can really decide if you want to push the distance or not. Most players deciding that sacrificing accuracy for distance it is not worth it here and end up going for a short-ish shot off the tee. 110 meters will do, leaving yourself with 105, slightly uphill. Usually gonna be a nice low ceiling forehand shot to the green. There is also a huge hyzer around the outside to the right, which is a great play if you have the power. But Ricky, surprisingly going with a forehand off the tee. I really like this play. It's flying over the fairway, and even if it does end up OB, which it just barely doesn't, he would have had a good spot to go for the par.
That is really interesting. He's the only person I've seen take that choice off the tee. But it certainly plays well, and he'll be free of the low ceiling. Lauri, in comparison, throwing the traditional shot, safely ending to the left, will have a lot more restriction in the available second shot. Alden plays the backhand but goes much wider, takes the initial danger, but for the benefit of an open look. Niklas looking to be with Lauri, likely under the trees. He wants to see this sit safe.
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky forehand with the low ceiling, but really well thrown here. Needs that late skip to get all the way to the basket, and look at this shot.
Wow.
Beautiful stuff from Niklas, just as I praised his forehand a couple of holes ago, showing off why he's so accurate and how he's so accurate with that smooth, flat release.
That is not a short shot for both Lauri and Niklas there. It's well over 100 meters with a low ceiling. Alden playing the hyzer entrance into the green. He hates it. And the disc does not proceed to inbounds. The danger continues for Alden. More penalty strokes than he is comfortable taking this round. Does not have much to lose, but is now fighting near that cut line. We see him currently tied 51st. It's the top 64 players in MPO that will proceed. So it will be important for him to finish strong now. That one going to leave him a bogey putt.
Yeah, solid approach there. As we are the second last card on the course, these players know that the cut line is going to be exactly 11 under par. So that's the score that Alden absolutely needs to beat in order to play. And he's going to be 11 under par after this hole. So needs an even par finish or better to even play in the final round.
That one does go in. I would be curious, Elias, if at this exact point in time Alden was monitoring that. Obviously knows he's playing a poor round by his standards, at least so far this weekend, to get himself onto chase guard. Has been shooting way hotter rounds. But regardless, there is only one option. Play your best golf. Continue with every shot.
Hey guys, quick break. We just dropped our brand new 2025 MDG Media Tour clothing collection, which is now available on our online shop. You will find fresh apparel and a full lineup of discs. If you like what we do, if you want to support the project, this is the best way. See you on the website and enjoy the video.
We move on to hole 13, a 150-meter par 3. Playing, I think, slightly downhill, however, from tee to green. This hole, I feel, not particularly difficult for the farthest throwers in good conditions. If there's any sort of head or crosswind, can very quickly become more complicated. You have this narrow stretch of fairway lining the left and right. You need to throw around 125 or even 130 meters to beat that final tree on the left, where the green then opens up and becomes a more generous landing zone. A lot of players are going to be shaping a hyzer flip or soft flex to push the distance and end back to the left. We don't have any here, but it's a hole that I've heard lefties absolutely despise. Understandably so.
And understandably so, we don't have any lefties on the card. Niklas, great shot. Actually, a great point for the lefties is that Dennis Augustsson absolutely just destroyed the European Championships a couple of years back. So maybe the course does suit the lefty if they have that good backhand combo.
Oh, Ricky Wysocki, he's so close. Come on, give him a friendly call. He is safe. Hanging on by a thread. I was on the edge of my seat there, Elias. I did not know what the outcome would be. Lauri, look at how smoothly he gets that distance on one angle. Absolutely insane, crispy, perfect shot.
Wow, that was so effortless. I mean, the man really wasn't lying when he said that he's throwing further than ever. And Alden, little inside here. Still gonna be safe. That's, I'd say, a good mistake to be slightly inside, as it's pretty hard to manage to find the OB on the inside, whereas you saw from Ricky's shot, it's easy to be close to that right side.
Niklas, a birdie look, has yet to take a par on the back nine. That will most likely be his first. Lauri for the lone birdie on 13. Here for the chase card. So well executed.
Yeah, Lauri playing solid, and he's been solid throughout the entire season. His worst finish was 12th at the European Championship. Second worst finish, 6th.
Wow.
And keep in mind, he has played multiple Elite Series events. So consistent right now. As we're moving on to a wooded hole for just a one hole. 200 meters. It's gonna be a low hyzer shot, a low penetrating hyzer shot. You can throw it very low with some hyzer and even take a big skip at the end. That's gonna help for the approach. Want to move a bit left of the tee, but not too far left where you have a worse angle to approach the green from. Usually the second shot plays really nicely for a straight to overstable forehand. A couple of OB lines surrounding the basket, but really shouldn't come into play if the players have some relatively good touch on their forehand games, which we know that they do.
Really nice. Anything near that dirt patch that Lauri skipped on is a reasonable spot. He even gets past that. Indicative of a great drive. Niklas, so many skips, so many slides. Really well done as well. It's a big bonus to get past those few late trees that we commonly see players end near because it opens up the swing. A great shot by Ricky as well. All three of those guys well in position. Alden yet to secure a back nine birdie.
Looking like a very potential one there. No more than 80 meters left for anybody on the card. Just want to keep this wide enough where you can hyzer all the way to the basket. And there you go, nice shot from Niklas. Backhand also plays, but backhand does contend with the low ceiling a bit more, as the low ceiling is worse on the straight shot. But Alden looks like he's gonna get that birdie finally. Gonna ease the pain for at least a little while.
Alden has never heard of a low ceiling. Doesn't know what it is. Lauri managing the width just all right. Sneaks his way into the circle. Ricky catches a leaf that... Pretty iron leaf there. Slows him down a lot. Maybe caught more than one. We see him. A tree in his way from circle 2. Crazy off the leaf again to go in for the putt. I can't imagine that that was calculated, but it's more than enough to go in.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Getting a bad leaf reaction on the approach, getting an insane leaf reaction on the putt. I mean, that was definitely going above the basket. Lauri, weird reaction. I don't know what happened there. I mean, it looked like it could have easily stuck on that low left side, but now actually has a bit of a tester. And test not passed.
Just like that, he falls back after grabbing a stroke on all of his card mates on 13. Will lose 1 or even 2 strokes here on hole 14. We see Niklas finally hit 30 under with that short tap in. We proceed to hole 15, another very generous fairway here for them to hit. This par 4 sits at 200 meters. You want to throw another low piercing drive, a very similar shot to hole 14. You got to get under this ceiling, beat all of these trees, and break out into this open field. You are then left with a fairly dangerous approach, although the mistake is to just try and throw it in or go long. They are throwing over this OB river and OB pond here. Players will need to crash into the green. These branches also hang over the OB, so if you hit them and fall straight down, you might not just be OB, you might even lose your disc in the water. One of the only holes on the course where you can actually lose a disc. And for these players, the best approach is to just try and throw it in on the second, go a bit long, putt your way back, given that the only danger is short.
Fully agreed, and looks like Niklas agrees with the type of drive you have to throw. Very well done there. Distance driver, great control. I love the height. Really the height control here is the challenge. The gap is pretty wide. You can see Ricky even missing the gap. still having a birdie position. I have to give a quick shout out to Luke Humphreys from the last hole, being the only eagle of the day on, I believe, any hole. So congrats, Luke. We saw him in the chase card yesterday on our coverage.
See the ceiling coming into play there. We now go to Lauri. A better height and a nice flip up. This is a really pure looking shot in the sense there was never any danger. Gets the full flight. Anywhere out of the shadows there indicates a good drive. Rick still in the dark, looking to find the light.
Looking to find the light and also get back in the dark at the very end, and he has done it. Beautiful shot there. Love that distance control, and I like the fact that he went around to the right of the last tree. That is usually a sign of a committed shot here. If you see somebody just fading before the last tree, usually it means that they were not quite satisfied with their release, even if they're in the circle. And Alden there, that's going to be a good miss. The right side miss is correct. Don't have that many trees on that side.
Very solid shot by Niklas, totally pure. You spoiled us a little bit, Elias, earlier, mentioning that Humphreys had the only eagle. I'll forgive you on that one. It means Lauri's shot is not going in here, but he is in an amazing position. Super far up there, playing the pure forehand hyzer. Does not get through cleanly, but it is a shot that he will be all right with. We'll see if he can bounce back after another 3-putt on 14. We first proceed to Alden. Drops to the knee to manage the width around the tree.
Almost. Like his putt for this kind of style, as it has that nice little nose up. Lauri, little nose down. It's good on the release. Yeah, thank you for the call out. And I very much take responsibility. I even hate when commentators do that, so it's a beginner mistake. If you ever start doing disc golf commentary, please do not use stats that could spoil the rest of the round. Likely this was the last par 4.
We forgive you, Elias. We are very happy for you to be here on the MPO coverage. And we see 9 under for Niklas now in the round.
Hole 16, scoreable par 3, only 95 meters, so very short. And I have been saying in the days past that people are throwing fairway drivers here, but some of the further throwing players are actually opting to go with the mid-range. Definitely not a putter though with the low ceiling. Have to keep your disc on a pretty specific height so that you don't land short, but also don't challenge that low ceiling. It's mainly a straight shot. You can really throw a slight flex, a slight hyzer flip, whatever stability feels the best to you, and that's, I feel like, the most important or most interesting thing here is that release angle of the different players. Do they go with a little hyzer, a little flex? Niklas has been going with a little flex here, which I find a little bit interesting.
He's so good at the hyzer flip. He's also apparently great at the flex. That one, of course, slowed down a touch. Had it been pure in the gap, I think we would see that go all the way. We go to Ricky now. No stranger to a friendly leaf kick, but does not utilize them. Might have helped him. That one, though, short and low. I would be very surprised, though, to not see him run that putt, even on the elevated basket.
Lauri, early release. Not paying any price for it, though. A lot of shots like that just barely hit the first tree on the left, end up kicking OB to the left. So very fortunate break there. Definitely 1.5 stroke swing. And did I just spoil it for Alden's shot? I think I did. That's just so common on this hole and really an unfortunate result. That is the biggest problem with disc golf, I feel like. You are sometimes better off throwing a worse shot like Lauri versus a slightly less bad shot like Alden. paying the bigger price for a better shot.
If you miss by a mile. Ricky looking to be accurate though and make it. It looked nice in the air. He'll be left with a short comebacker. We go to Lauri, a chance to capitalize on a lucky break. So pure. It's really nice to see Lauri get comfortable on the green, particularly after a couple of 3 putts. We saw it on hole 1. We saw it just a few holes ago as well. And he doesn't really seem deterred at all after missing some more easy putts. Goes for them all. Ricky for the par.
Yeah, that's a big momentum loss, a big scoring loss as well. Any bogey on this back 9 is not gonna feel good, as Niklas pushing his round score to 10 under double digits. That's a good aiming point. And as he has averaged 11 under per round so far, has an opportunity to match that, even beat that by 1 if he goes birdie to finish out. Which honestly is very doable.
Particularly, I feel, for his skill set. Hole 17, an uphill par 3 94-meter tunnel shot. You have these mandos early to the left and right, forcing players to play down the middle. You most often see one of 2 things: a soft, overstable flex through the pipe, or alternatively a slightly understable disc. That nose-up requirement of the uphill shot plays quite favorably to get the glide with a bit of understability, but you need to manage the turn, and above all, do not kick a tree too hard or too far. That is the most significant danger players need to avoid. You can try to just match the slope, keep it low, keep it piercing, hit the gap, make the putt, win the tournament.
If you win the tournament from this card, you have done something special in the final round. As Niklas parked, beautiful shot. Once again, such a good hole for him. I mean, I just don't see him ever missing the gap. And Lauri also really nice with these low piercing straight shots.
That one punished by the aforementioned tree kick. We see Ricky as well bleed out to the left, but does get through, and such a friendly little skip there. Even makes his way up and almost completely over the path. A very reasonable look at the birdie. Alden shapes this very nicely. And a pretty bad reaction. Were that a few centimeters shorter or longer on the skip, would have been closer, but also a fine shot. And that small slope before the path coming into play for his ground play there. We go first to Lauri, looking to save now. Likely bogey at best. Given the uphill, he could consider running this, but I think not worth it.
That's not committed, and he knows it. Gonna have a long C2 look here. Really not ideal for a bogey. And he hasn't got it. That's gonna be a double. Disappointing back 9 for Lauri, as he's gonna go even par through the last 8 after completing this one. And Alden actually a big putt to ensure that he makes the cut. We mentioned 11 under being the number to beat to get to play on that final round, and going to 12 looks like it's almost ensured that he will play the final round.
Ricky misses the putt on 16 twice, misses the putt on 17 now for the birdie. And in these last few holes, the difference between Niklas and Ricky, multiple strokes swung. That is the difference between lead card, chase card, and potentially even beyond as we go into hole 18.
One of the signature holes on the course, 145 meters, going downhill. It's gonna play as an island, so if you don't land in bounds, you have to go to a drop zone. That is really not that easy. It's not a difficult approach from there, but it's still very missable. And I said before the tournament that we're not gonna see anybody miss the island on this hole. It's so big. Let's see if that still holds true. Has been true through 2 rounds. Yeah. Even some ace runs to be had on this hole. Of course, Isaac Robinson carded the ace in round 2, shooting 15 under with an ace on this finishing hole. It's just right there. The perfect shot usually flashes chains on this one.
Bro, you're just full of spoilers today, Elias. Hopefully you've seen round 2 if you're watching round 3. To close out the moving day now, our chase card on the tee of 18. A very fine shot by Niklas has put together 4 birdies in a row in the last 4 holes. That putt would make it 5 and secure his position on the lead card.
Nice little flip up here from Alden. Really good shot to finish off. He's gonna go to 13 under most likely. Disappointing round, but made the cut and not far away from the cash line. Not everybody making the cut is gonna make cash, as Ricky. This is really wide and actually in danger of being OB right. Rare miss on this hole.
Particularly for Rick, who is so strong on those power hyzers. That is a shot that we see from him over and over, executed to near perfection. And I think Ricky just coming through this round with the mistakes on 16 and then also 17, just a little bit unfocused, not quite dialing it in at the end of this 3rd round. He will proceed to the drop zone. We see the gallery's eyes laid upon the athletes. Ricky now. This is his 2nd throw, but 3rd stroke. Not the easiest putt either, considering he's missed 3 putts from that distance in the last 2 holes. With the pressure of the crowd as well, we go first to Lauri to bounce back.
Hard to see the reaction of the basket. Looked like it could have possibly stuck. Or maybe it was just too far left. And Ricky there, solid putt. Actually a very familiar position if you watched 2023 coverage when Dennis Augustsson let everybody else on the card tap in. And then he tapped in from 9 meters exactly where Ricky was.
What a move.
For a dominating victory. And Niklas, big miss. That is actually going to deny his spot at the lead card. So I don't know if I should feel bad or feel happy that we're going to have Niklas for the next round as well.
I was thinking the same. Of course we want to see him do well, potentially even win the tournament. Alden, a painful miss from short distance. With the crowd watching the field there. However, we mentioned par is enough to make the cut for him. At 12 under, we see no birdies on 18 for our chase card. Crazy moving day results here, Elias. We see tied at the top 36, Gennon and Isaac, Calvin and Paul on the lead card, MDG chase card, Niklas Anttila, Anthony Barella, Luke Humphreys, and Ricky Wysocki. Some incredible names and crazy event, Elias.
Yeah, a lot of separation near the top now. The top 8 really separating themselves from the rest of the field. And our chase card players are gonna be having to make a huge push in the final round to win this tournament. Something like 15 under should do. Let's hope we see that come back, please, tomorrow one last time to see who of our chase card players hopefully becomes the major champion of the European Disc Golf Festival.
Subscribe to MDG Media.